Hi everyone, today we're going to look at how we can move between different linear models. We'll begin with a table and we'll use it to create a story and an equation and a graph. So from a table of values, we know how to find the initial value. We look for 0 in the independent column, and then we look at the number that's next to it in the dependent column. So 75 is our initial value in this case. We can find the rate of change by doing the first differences and finding the rise on the dependent side and the run on the independent side. So here we have a rise of 20 and we have a run of 2. When we divide the rise by the run, 20 divided by 2 will give us 10. So we know that the income will be $10 per hour worked. This is our rate of change, and now we can use the rate of change along with the initial value to create the equation. Our dependent variable can be I for income, and our independent variable will be H for hours worked. So our equation will be I equals 10H plus 75. To create our story, we can begin by describing the initial value. So we can say something like, George earns $75 in tips each shift. He earns an additional $10 per hour that he works. We can place this information on our graph easily using our table. We can label our independent axis with hours of work, and we can count by 2s just like it does in the table. For our dependent axis, we could use a break symbol and begin around 75. We can count up by 20s from there, again as it does in the table, so that we can ensure we can fit all of the data points on our graph. In our second example, we are given a graph, but no other information. We'll have to use this graph to construct a table of values. We can read the initial value from the graph as it's where the line starts on the dependent axis at 80, so we can begin with a time of 0 hours and an income of $80. From there, we can see that every 5 hours, the graph is increasing by $40. So we can use this information to fill in our table. Now we can use our table to find the rest of the information that we need. Our independent variable can be T for time, our dependent variable I for income, our initial value is 80, and our rate of change is a rise of 40 and a run of 5. When we divide rise by run, or 40 by 5, we get 8. So the income is $8 per hour. We can create our equation to say I equals 8T plus 80. Our story can be something like, Jessica earns $80 per shift in tips. She earns an additional $8 per hour that she works.